It's not even loading no more.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. Hold on, let me. Celtics coach Ime Udoka suspended for entire season after engaging in intimate relationship with staffer. Now, this is one of those cases where, once again, I thought this was going to be a pretty quick case. I thought it was going to be a little headline that within a couple of days, people going to laugh at him. Oh, he cheated on Nia Long. That was a storyline. You know, people was joking about that. How you going to cheat on Nia Long?
Well, Nina has, she's aging.
Yeah,
she's aging gracefully.
John Wayne Casey. Yeah, that's it. John Wayne Casey. The cops in the incident were dumb because the young teen was naked, but they released him back to Dahmer. Yeah, Casey. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, they released the kid back to the damn man.
So he's naked.
He was naked.
I would think that this child was running for his life.
You would think at minimum he's been abused.
Nope, he white.
Yeah. Like Bill Cosby. Wait, what?
Like Bill Cosby.
What we say? George explained that. Maybe we're missing it. It's just because it's just bad.
See, George, what you mean by Bill Cosby?
He's talking about right here. He's talking about what's his name? I think he's talking about the people taking payments. It's justice because it's just a bag. Okay, back to this right here. Because this story, once again, I thought this was a story that was gonna be a headline for a couple of days. People gonna make jokes. Oh, look, he cheated on Nia Long. People posting pictures of her and saying how beautiful she is. How can you cheat on this? Even though I think
she's a beautiful woman.
That don't mean anything. Beauty don't.
No, beauty holds you, but for so long.
I remember you hear people make the old school comment.
Some people.
They made the old school comment saying for every beautiful woman you see as a man that's sick of her. So that don't mean anything. I'm not saying it's her fault that he cheated or did what he did. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying people cheat for different reasons. People seek validation outside their relationship past their partner's beauty or whatever. But this case turned into something more and more. I mean, they kept the suspension of this case so high because they kept saying, we can't say everything. All the facts are not out. And it's like, bro, he cheat. Okay, we get it. Move on. But then people started, why would they suspend him for 1 year for just having an affair, which they apparently knew about for months. At least 2 months they knew about this relationship until this particular woman.
Who gets suspended for having an affair?
That's the point. Until they say they have policy because they don't want something like that to happen. Obviously, the climate we in, the Me Too thing.
The Me Too thing is still here?
Apparently.
And how did Joe Biden get in office?
Oh, they paused it for about 6 months when he was running. When he was campaigning, when that woman Tara was coming out saying what he did, they paused Me Too for a little while. Said she's lying. And it's like, well, I thought we were supposed to believe.
No, some women are hoes.
Oh, all of a sudden they got real. They was in reality. They was grounded at that point. Every woman is not telling the truth. All of a sudden they was keeping it real. But apparently this woman went to the Celtics and said that he was making inappropriate comments towards her that she didn't want. And you go, wait, were they having a relationship and then they stopped? She cut it off and he kept going. He kept pursuing it. Now we're hearing it was multiple women. He might have got somebody pregnant. It was the vice president's wife. It's now you got people coming out saying, there's more to the story. He may should go to jail and all kind of crazy stuff. I'm like, damn, what happened? But I'm gonna show this right quick. This is Stephen A. Smith. He made comments about this, and this is rare for Stephen A. to take a stand against certain things. The last time he took a stand against something like this, he was suspended. When Michelle Beadle, when he said that, when they kept talking about the Ray Rice situation, like, man, maybe she shouldn't have put her hands on him. Don't put yourself in a situation where a man can hit you. And Michelle Beadle was like, you're accusing a woman and all this other stuff. And they suspended his ass.
Well, Stephen he has more power now, so.
You think that's what it is?
Yes.
Oh, no, it's because it's a black person involved. The woman ain't black, but.
How you know the woman? Oh, yeah.
Because the woman they keep showing, she's not.
Oh, yeah.
Although they did have a whole bunch of women that was thrown up, which was messed up because some of those women are married.
Yeah, but we don't know who they are.
Yeah, so that's kind of messed up. Y'all kept putting all those women out there. But yeah, Stephen A. Smith on Ime Udoka's story. Plenty of white folks in professional sports that's doing their thing. And I'm just gonna play this clip.
Seems like he know who they are too.
Oh, if he's in touch like he said he is, as far as connections in the industry, he definitely know what he's talking about. Let me just play a little bit of this. I wanted to show the Twitter, but shit didn't want to load. Hold on, let me.
What is going on? Every time we get ready to start doing this, the internet just starts going slow.
Yeah, I might have to wipe this at some point. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me go back here.
This is what happened last week.
Now, last week it was worse. The screen just went black for like 30 seconds, and then
look how low. Look how slow it's taking to load.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna read what he said. He said, "Because I got news for you, America. There's plenty of white folks in professional sports that's doing their thing, and I say that as not complimentary." Stephen Smith said, "I seen in the viral clip below. I don't see the information about the others. Why are they talking about this now?" Stephen Smith on Ime Udoka's situation. There's plenty of white folks we know. Smith specifically took issue with the release of follow-up information they previously reported, in which it was claimed that the news of possible suspension was linked with the alleged consensual relationship Udoka had with a woman on the team staff. According to Smith, it was the fault of the Celtics organization. All right, so let's just move on to this next part. And you asked the question, why would the Celtics she was choking the dog with the leash. I never what up, Don Juan? He said
we got Don Juan in here.
Oh, the pimp. I never knew there
we
was
talking
so many
about Tina and a
hosts,
pimp showed up.
Large companies or organizations that have very strict policies about how sexual relationships with subordinate. 9 out of 10 companies he would be fired. Well, yeah, but that's the thing. Why didn't they just fire him? That's the big thing. The story is whatever. Why are they suspending him for breaking a policy instead of firing him?
Well, he is quote unquote.
Well, he's one of the first black coaches they've had in a little while, I guess. It's the Boston Celtics. They have a history
of
when they had the
people
first
Mondays.
I think they had a first black coach with Bill Russell. I think he might have been their first black coach. He was a player coach. Because they take pride in that, even though people point out, Boston is kind of.
They take pride in that.
Yeah, we were the first team to have a black coach. Be happy, you niggas. But,
Mondays.
Huh?
Be happy, you Mondays.
Oh yeah, they got us. Let me tell you something. The amount of slurs and by names they have for black people. When you look up black people slurs, there's like the list is like 5 pages. But everybody else is like a handful.
I hate Mondays. You too?
Now if you go to Boston and you hear somebody say that, you go, "You racist
fucking Monday." Really?
But it's actually Monday, so you don't even know. You don't know if they talking about you or not. All right, but back to this. Oh, I didn't mean to go this far. Sorry. Did I put that in the wrong spot? I think I did. Oh, we just go to this then.
We can't even go to nothing because it ain't even loading.
Oh, Brian brought up Doc Rivers. You didn't see the Doc Rivers stuff, did you?
What'd he say?
He was quote unquote hacked, and he was liking certain. He had certain things in his likes.
What?
The man want to be a woman types. He was liking some stuff, but he said he was hacked. Oh, that's the thing.
The trainings?
Huh?
He was liking trainings?
Yeah. It was bad. Yeah. People like, damn, man, what's going on, Doc? What's going on? It was jokes. People like, what the hell going on with Doc? They were like, he clearly was hacked. But somebody like, no, if he was hacked, they could have released DMs. This is Doc Rivers. The whole Ben Simmons situation, he could have released information on Joel Embiid. There's a whole bunch of stuff they could have released in his DMs. But they chose to like some stuff on his profile. Like, it ain't looking good for Doc. That's all I'm going to say. But let me let y'all hear what Malika Andrews had to say, and it led to a back and forth between her and Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is of the mindset of, if you're going to suspend him, if you're doing this publicly, you could have did this behind the scenes.
He wants you to reprimand.
Why you ain't telling us what the woman did, and if you're going to suspend her? Because they both broke policy.
They both should be reprimanded.
Huh?
They both should be reprimanded.
Exactly. So he wasn't blaming the woman. He was blaming the Celtics organization.
Well,
But
it's hard to hold them accountable.
but Malika Andrews, she didn't like that. She felt like he was blaming the women in the situation. Let me let y'all hear it.
Well, Molly, thank you. If I could first start.
Oh yeah, Brian, and he was Doc Rivers is a former coach of the Celtics. So, we always joke about LA being freaky town. Boston's like it's pretty freaky town.
Start with this, Stephen A. With all due respect, this is not about pointing the finger. Stop. What became apparent?
You hear that?
That white? No, it was the whiteness in her.
With all due respect.
To me in this press conference is that we do not have all of the information here, and it was frustrating to me that the Celtics declined to elaborate or to give more specifics about what exactly the rule breaking was that led us to this point. So that I just want to get that out of the way first. But to answer your question, Molly, I think what stood out to me, I think what stood out to me is that Brad Stevens, he was upset. That's what stood out to me about what he termed rampant Twitter BS is the word that he used, that women were unfairly dragged into this within the Celtics organization. You could see that Brad Stevens was visibly upset about this. And I also found that to be gross and unnecessary, that folks were bringing in the names and the images of women that is just not a fact. That was purely speculation. And so to me, that is what stood out. But the Celtics as an organization could have done more, and short of doing more ahead of this yesterday, they could have owned that responsibility in this press conference. I understand that there were legal parameters that they had to operate within for everybody involved, and I appreciate the fact that they brought in outside counsel and did a thorough organization, and I think that that is something that was clearly necessary.
So it sounds like the Boston Celtics simply suspended him, not fired him, because they were trying to cover for themselves for a possible, I'm going to say a possible shakedown attempt. Maybe they thought this woman was about to try to go public with this and paint the organization as this sexist organization that allows this coach to just go around and flirt with all the female staff and not say anything. So they said, let's just suspend him. Even though we know what was going on, we're just going to suspend him to just let it be known we did something. We took action towards the situation.
In this situation, but the fact that it was able to go on all day, the fact that we are sitting here debating whether somebody else should have been suspended or not, we are not here, Stephen A., to further blame women. That is not why we are here.
So that's what she had to say.
So no accountability.
So all she worried about is don't blame the women. Even though
She played a part in it. She knew he was, I'm sure that she knew he was engaged.
She also knew he was her, because apparently people are asking the question, was he her boss in the organization? Did he have higher status than her? And does that change the power dynamic? But she also know she could have been when and said something if she never wanted this.
Well, that's why you got to control your lust.
And we're going to get to that. How many men fall because they can't control their lust. But we'll get to that in a second. Now, Stephen A. Smith, I don't know what it is, but the women at ESPN, they love challenging him. You rarely see women challenge the other host, the other men on the network. Stephen A. Smith, he went back and forth with Kerry Champion, Michelle Beadle. Now you got Malika Andrews, and there's been some spicy comments made towards other ones as well. Well, they made comments toward him. I mean, you've had staff, not just the women, the men, flat out say they just don't like his show. Like saying it. Obviously he's the most popular. He garnered the most attention, and they just publicly was saying how they didn't like his show. They didn't like First Take. So it was, we know about Stephen A. but he do get a lot of should I use the word jealousy or envy from his co-workers. I will say that. So it's not surprising that she made those comments towards him, because for some reason they feel like they can just swing on him anytime.
I don't appreciate where you're going with that. I'm not blaming anybody but Ime Udoka. He deserves, the fact of the matter is, I've said he deserved to be fired if they were going to fire him. If you're not going to fire him, then don't fire him. My issue is all of this being publicized. The point that I'm trying to make is just like you're not mentioning. Excuse me. I listened to you. You're the one telling me to stop on my show. It ain't happening. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I've already said he deserves to be fired, or he deserves to be there and handle it internally and privately. If you're not going to handle it privately, if you're going to publicize it in that fashion, then obviously it provokes everybody wanting to know, okay, well, who are the parties involved? When you have Amina Smith in Boston and other women pointing out the fact that there were women who were wrongly implicated in all of this, it's a disservice to them. I didn't come out with the report about a consensual relationship. I didn't come out with the report ahead of time leaking that they were going to suspend him for the year. They did that. And my point is, considering how pervasive this kind of stuff has existed in professional sports for many years, my whole point is that, excuse me, make sure that you handle it in the same fashion it has always been handled.
So you get the point. Stephen Smith had to check her on TV because she was ready to, paint him with the stroke.
She's ready to talk over him.
Yes. So the fact that he had to do that, considering who he is at the company, is kind of crazy. And I'm not going to listen to this one. This is just Matt Barnes.
Oh, what was the name?
Becky with the good hair.
Becky with the good hair got something to say.
He came out and supported Ime at first. Then he deleted it and said, I learned some new stuff.
That's why you shouldn't come out and support or say anything until you know the facts.
Yeah, he said it's 100 times worse than
and I'm not saying that that dude did anything. I'm just saying you should wait.
Yeah, exactly. So we still don't know the true what he's accused of, but that's the biggest story in sports right now. And when you look at history, so many great men, and when I say great, I don't mean morally, I mean accomplishments. So many dudes fall because they can't control themselves around women. You're the coach of the Boston Celtics. You have a fiance and a child at home. Why are you sleeping with people why are you trying to, I don't want to say it like that. Why are you messing around people that you work with?
Well, he would say because he's a grown-ass man, he can do what he want to do.
And it comes back to the question, does the higher status a man obtain, is it less likely of him being a one-woman man?
Do you know anybody that has that type of status and has only been
with one woman?
Yes. Do you know anybody?
No.
Okay, then that answers your question.
Now.